definitely ready. So, what searing is just you're getting a nice hardened like crust on the meat to lock in all of the juicy flavors on the inside. Now that we have the potatoes in the water, we're going to try and let it boil for about 20-25 minutes. It's going to depend on how big you cut the potatoes. It's also going to depend on how fast your water comes back from the boil. In the meantime, you can go ahead and get your chimichurri sauce made, which is what we're going to show you just here in a jiffy. So right now, we're going to be making the chimichurri for our flank steak. It's going to be the sauce that's going over it. And pretty simple sauce. All you have to do is get some fresh herbs like parsley and cilantro, fresh fruit like lemon, and then a couple fresh garlic cloves. Throw them all in the blender, some salt and pepper, and you have a really bright, fresh sauce. Just gonna add a little bit more herbs just to give it a little bit more green color. It tastes really good. Whenever you're cooking with potatoes, the best way to tell if they're done is to stick a knife right through them. And if they do that, they're done. So now we're going to start on dessert. We're going to be making a strawberry shortcake with cornmeal biscuits instead of your normal buttermilk biscuits. We're going to start off with 3 cups of all-purpose flour. After you have your 3 cups of all-purpose flour in your bowl, next thing you're going to add is 3/4 of a cup of yellow cornmeal. If you get fine grain, that'd be like best, but if you can't, it's okay. Then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Next, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar. A 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So next you're just going to combine all the dry ingredients together. You're going to add 2 tablespoons of chilled butter cut into little cubes, as you can see. You're going to kind of squeeze them all together. You're just going to want to make them as small as possible with your fingers. It's all going to come together in a cool dough. You're going to keep wanting to do this until it kind of just seems like coarser flour. And what that butter is going to do with leaving it in there, just little chunks, you're going to have little butter pockets. And they're just going to melt and it's going to be yummy stuff. Once it's all combined, We're going to go ahead and add 1.5 cups of heavy cream. Anytime you're working with any kind of dough, you always want to make sure you have plenty of flour on any surface you work on. It's just going to help that dough not stick to any countertop or your hands. Just want to kind of keep kneading it so you get all the flour and all the dry mix all together in one big dough ball. Don't be afraid to use a little elbow grease because that's what you're going to need to do. So what you're going to want to do is grab your rolling pin and coat it with a little flour just so it doesn't stick to the dough. You're going to want to roll your dough out to about 6 to 9 inches. Next we need to cut our biscuits for our shortcake. And I always kind of like just to use a little guide so I know exactly what I'm cutting. Slice up all of the strawberries. You're going to want to add about 4 ounces of flour, 3 ounces of water, about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, about a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. You mix it all together and then you're all set. You have your strawberries marinating for your strawberry shortcake. So we're going to add about 1/4 cup of heavy cream. A teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then about 2 ounces of sugar, So what you're looking for is something called stiff peaks. There's soft peaks and then there's stiff peaks. Stiff peaks are going to be where you can basically put your finger right in there and it comes up a stiff peak on both sides.